G'day, I'm Rob Malicki and welcome to A Life That Travels. And I've got to say, I'm just a little bit excited today because firstly, I'm visiting a university that I have never been to before. And secondly, said university is actually ranked #1 in Australia for student experience. Where am I? Bond University. You might not have heard of this place, right? Because we hear of all the big universities like Melbourne and Monash and the like, but this place outranks them all for the quality of the experience for students. Now, in this video, we're going to have a bit of a look around what is Australia's first private university, and we're going to talk about what actually makes up this place, how it ranks, and everything that you need to know. Hopefully have a bit of a chat about what it's like to be a student here, and by the end of this video, you should have a bit of a better idea about whether or not this place is for you. I've been in higher ed for like 20 years. I've literally helped tens of thousands of students boost their CV in like international study and different ways. So I am super pumped to come and have a look around this place, which has really got a stellar reputation with students. Let's get started. Well, the university actually opened in 1989, so it's a relatively young university. It was a private initiative from Alan Bond, the unfortunately now disgraced entrepreneur and tycoon billionaire, who in collaboration with some others put in the funding and donated the land to actually create Bond. And it's a small university, only about 4,000 students here, something like 3,000 undergraduates and about 1,000 to 1,200, bit more maybe as postgraduates. So it's quite unique in the Australian higher education landscape in that sense, and it's certainly unique in its landscapes. Wow, it really is special. It's actually a mid-term break here, which is why there's just nobody around, but it's still quite moving to be here. Beautiful. The university, importantly, ranks #1 in Australia for student experience. What does that mean? It means 90% of students that come to Bond are happy with the overall experience that they have here. As an example, most universities, the average across the country is 80%, so for a uni to be that far ahead of everyone else is really pretty impressive, and certainly shows that the institution is doing something right. It also ranks incredibly highly, I think 3rd in the country for employability. So the university has invested a lot in making sure that once you graduate from Bond, you've got a really good chance of getting a job. I was just doing some background research on the institution and saw, hello Society and Design Precinct, and I saw that they have an entrepreneurship program that's basically available to all students, like an entrepreneurship sort of incubator. So if you're thinking of one day running your own business, this is the kind of place you may want to think about coming and studying at. Because of course, some of that is about the skills that they'll give you. It can also be about the contacts, and particularly about the knowledge and the support they give you in terms of starting your own business. Definitely those things are all upsides for this university. Bond University was actually like basically the first university in the country to run on a trimester system. It's always run on a trimester system. And it's interesting that now other universities are following suit and starting to introduce trimesters as well. Of course, the advantage of a trimester is that you can cram a lot more classes into a year, so you can actually accelerate the time in which it takes you to get through a degree here at Bond. It's funny that, like 20 years later, several universities have actually then worked out that that's a real benefit and are now following suit. One of the other things that the university really prides itself on is its small class setting. So certainly if you feel like you're somebody who needs a little bit more support in the classroom, you want to have a bit more direct contact with your academics, being in a place like this certainly has its advantages in that regard. I remember talking to students at Notre Dame University who said something similar. The fact that it's a small university for them meant that they had much more direct and intimate contact with their professors, and that can definitely give you an advantage when it comes to being really engaged in your studies, understanding a topic in depth, and as somebody said to me at another institution, like not just being a number, those things definitely have upsides. The university has 4 faculties: business, law, health and medicine, and then society and design. So a more limited selection of subjects, but perhaps not surprising being a private institution. Well, those of you who've watched a little bit of A Life That Travels will know that I do occasionally swear. And I must say that in the first 15 minutes of walking around this place, the number of expletives that have come out of my mouth has been quite ridiculous. Like, wow, this is fucking amazing or beautiful. Really, this campus is absolutely stunning. Breathtaking. Whilst Bond does perform exceptionally well in terms of student satisfaction, make sure you always dive into the detail of the various kind of ranking schemes. So if you're thinking of studying in a particular discipline, I highly recommend you check out the Quality Indicators of Learning and Teaching website, qilt.edu.au. This is like Australian government data about the satisfaction and outcomes for students who've actually studied at this institution. So make sure you dive into the detail so that in your particular discipline that you're looking at studying, you know that this institution actually meets your expectations, because your expectations are really important. You hear the bells? That's pretty cool. Bond University is actually a small university, ranked in the top 20 small universities in the world. Only about 4,500 students, 3,000 undergrads and 1,200, 1,300 postgrads. It is both a teaching and a research institution, so depending on what you're looking to study, you can do coursework and you can also do research degrees here too. Do you have any questions or comments? Have you studied at Bond? Please hit me up in the comments below and I'll absolutely respond to you. Free parking? Yes please, that's kind of awesome. Unexpected, but awesome. Well, sports facilities, yeah, it's got some pretty awesome little tennis centre here. It's got an AFL field, it's got a rugby field. Definitely, the university has not spared any expenses in terms of its sporting infrastructure. Bond sporting teams are called bull sharks. One thing's for sure is like you don't want to mess with a bull shark, so it's probably a pretty good mascot. Like better than the hamsters or something. Bull shark. Don't fuck with the bull shark. Has this video been useful for you? If so, please like it and please hit the subscribe button. That really helps me out in terms of being able to create more videos, with unbiased information, because there's so much rubbish out there on the internet. So please like, subscribe, ring the bell. That really helps. Thanks. I've had an absolutely fantastic time checking out Bond Uni for the very first time. I'm certainly looking forward to being back, because from everything from the architecture to the extraordinary opportunities that are available to students who study here, to the incredible student satisfaction, like clearly, yes, it is a private, not-for-profit university. Yes, that does mean it's going to cost you a lot of money to come here if you don't get scholarship. But I tell you what, like, to study in this kind of environment and to have access to the opportunities that you may have here, if you got access to the capital, would you make a return on that investment? I reckon there's probably a pretty good chance. So, without further ado, I'm going to take off into the sunset. Figuratively. Although no, kind of literally too, because I am flying back to Sydney tonight, so I better get on my way to not miss my flight. Whatever you're getting up to today, I hope it's a really good one. If this video has been useful for you too, please hit the like button and subscribe. I'm Rob Malicki, and I'll see you next time on A Life That Travels. Cheerio.